High school horror. The sun was setting and the air had a chill to it. I was walking home from school, my backpack slung over my shoulder, oblivious to the evil lurking in the shadows. Little did I know that my life was about to change forever. I turned the corner and there he was, standing in the middle of the street. He was wearing a dark hoodie and his face was covered with a ski mask. He was holding a knife in his hand and he was looking directly at me. I froze in fear. He slowly started walking towards me, and I could see that his eyes were filled with hatred. I wanted to run, but I was too scared. I stood there like a deer in headlights. Then he spoke. "You're the one, aren't you?" he said. His voice was cold and raspy. I didn't answer. I was too scared. He stepped closer and he pointed the blade of his knife at my face. "I've been watching you," he said. "I know who you are, and I know what you've been up to." That's when I realized that he was a serial killer. He had been stalking me for days, and he knew everything about me. I was his next victim. He lunged at me with the knife, but I managed to dodge him. I ran as fast as I could, but he was right behind me. I could hear his footsteps and his raspy breathing. He was getting closer and closer. I finally reached my house and slammed the door shut. I was safe, for now. But I knew that he wouldn't stop until he got what he wanted. I spent the next few weeks in fear, peeking out my window to make sure he wasn't there. I stayed up all night, searching for clues about his identity. But it was no use. He was too clever. And then one night, it all changed. I was walking down the street when I saw him again. He was standing in an alley, his hoodie pulled up and his face still covered. He stepped closer and pulled down his ski mask. I gasped. It was my high school teacher, Mr. Smith. He had been the serial killer all along. I was shocked, but I also felt relieved. I had finally figured out who the killer was. But I knew that he wouldn't stop until he got what he wanted. I followed him to his house and I saw him enter the basement. I knew it was time to act. I grabbed a baseball bat and I crept down the stairs. I heard a scream, and when I reached the bottom of the stairs, I saw what he had done. He had captured another student from my school and he was about to kill her. I had to act fast. I swung the bat and hit him in the head. He fell to the ground and I freed the student. I had stopped the killer, but I was still filled with fear. I had stopped a serial killer, but I knew that this was just the beginning. I had unlocked a dark and twisted world, and I knew that I wasn't done yet.